We have with us Mr. Sandeep Mathur, the Managing Director of Oracle India. Mr. Mathur will talk to us about Oracle's hardware strategy. Okay, thank you Sandeep for joining us today. Basically, if you look at Oracle, it's you're largely known as a software company.
Right.
So, how is the hardware business? I believe you're getting heavily into hardware.
Yes.
So, how is it doing both in India and globally?
All right. So, in the recently announced results for our Q4, globally we've grown the business by about 2%. And take it in the context of, over the last sort of 3 quarters, we've been announcing growth or year-on-year growth in hardware. Versus if you look at sort of our largest competitor, IBM, in that space, they've been announcing for almost 8 quarters now decline in hardware revenue. So that's sort of the context of that. Closer home to India, we don't break out the results, but if you look at the IDC figures, they came up with, for the calendar year 2013, they look at sort of second half results have just come out.
Right.
And there are a few data points which I think are very interesting. Number one is that in the non-x86 category, Oracle has grown about 36% year on year, which is a tremendous amount of growth versus all our competitors who've declined actually. If you look at sort of the overall hardware market share for Oracle, that's gone up by about 2.6 percentage points. Again, the highest by any company, and we've grown from sort of 6.4% to 9%. So again, we have taken share away from all our competitors, whether globally or in India. On the non-x86, like I said, I think it's probably more aggressive in India than anywhere else, but those are the results. So yes, the business is doing well.
Now, in the sense that hardware is still a small proportion of your total business, right? So, do you see that growing, or is it still going to be where it is?
Well, I think hardware is an integral part of our business strategy. And really, if you look at sort of Oracle's business strategy, is built on fundamentally a philosophy which says that we will engineer all the components of an enterprise requirement for different solutions to work together.
Right.
And that means that our applications with our middleware, with the database, as well as with the hardware and storage, all of it will work together, or we will engineer it to work together to deliver optimum performance and peak performance at a reasonable cost, right? So that's sort of our stated goal. So it is extremely strategic for the goals of the business, both here as well as globally. And so it is core to our strategy. I think that's sort of the important piece out of that.
And if you look at the various components of the hardware business, be it storage, servers, engineered systems,
yeah.
How do you see that breakup? Is there a breakup that you can share of it within India or globally? And how does it change?
I cannot share any breakup, but what I can tell you is that, again, it's the options and the choices that we offer to the customer, because a lot of these are very, very purpose built. So even if you look at, for example, our engineered systems category, there are a lot of engineered systems. For example, there is Exadata, which is a database machine. So its sole purpose in life is to run the database fast, or Oracle database fast. Similarly, we have something known as Exalogic, whose sole purpose in life is to run our web application servers, as fast as it can potentially, and faster than anybody else out there. So there are purpose-built hardware which are required for certain specific purpose that the customer wants to execute on. And in each one of those categories, all those products are doing extremely well. I did mention about non-x86 servers or the overall market share. So some of those, you've got a glimpse of from the IDC results that were announced. But each one of those categories, we are doing reasonably well.
The engineered systems is where your core is right now, right?
Well, engineered systems is growing at a much faster clip. They're growing at about 30% globally. And we are, our CEO recently announced that we will be shipping, the 10,000th server for the engineered system. So it is a huge, there's tremendous excitement around that, and obviously it's a great sort of milestone, to be able to achieve that.
How long did it take you?
It's been about 3 years, 3 or 4 years. So it's really been remarkable. It's probably one of the fastest growing products within the industry for enterprise. So it's really been great.
And I mean, you're the only one who seems to be growing in the hardware business. I mean, IBM seems to be doing badly. So
Yes.
what exactly is it that you're doing right?
I think again, so it's back to our fundamental strategy. I think the fundamental strategy is that customers spend inordinate amount of time and inordinate amount of costs in putting systems to work together. And Oracle believes that you can save a lot of that money that you were just doing to keep your lights on in your business. We think we can save a lot of that money by providing you engineered systems, which all the systems work together on a common stack. And with that, you can save money, which you can then plow that money back into your business for either growth or innovation, which is sort of what everybody wants to do. And that is core to our strategy. I think, which is why I think that is appealing to a lot of customers, especially in India where cost is a major factor. Scale is becoming a major factor. You start a service and most times you don't even know how many, what scale do you build it out to, right? And scale is important for banks, for airlines, for the government. So these systems allow you to build scale at a very, very rapid pace without occupying large data center space and things like that. So there are many case studies where, we've proven that things that were running at a particular pace, we've been able to increase their pace by 30x, right? So we've had performance improvements of 30x. While we've reduced data center space, we've reduced power and cooling costs for the customer. So sometimes it becomes a no-brainer that you take out competitive hardware and you put in these engineered systems because they are that effective and they work that well. And because, like I said, they're engineered to work together, it's not just that we've optimized them and we've just loaded some software in and bundled it. We have truly put our R&D at play, and we spend a lot of money on R&D. So we spent about $5 billion last year on R&D, and a lot of that money goes into innovation and driving this sort of innovation, which produces these business results.
What's your biggest? Who are your biggest buyers? Is it BFSI?
It would be the telecom industry, it would be BFSI, manufacturing, and public sector. Those are sort of the four core industries. And
is that the global norm, or is it particularly for India?
It's pretty much a global norm. I would say, the big spenders on information technology would tend to sort of spend a lot more of their money with Oracle, globally as well as in India as well.
And what is your go-to-market strategy for India? Is it changing from what it was? Is it?
No, it's remained pretty consistent. Our go-to-market is built on sort of, like I said, our engineered stack, and our go-to-market is also built on sort of putting more people on the ground and more investments in India. Given the success that we are seeing both for our software and our hardware business, we are, as per IDC, we are the #1 enterprise ID company with almost 22% market share. And so we continue to sort of believe in the marketplace. We want to continue investing in it, and we want to put more sales resources, more pre-sales resources, both globally as well as in India.
And what do you see would be the driver for hardware growth in the coming years? Is there any sector which is really showing promise?
Yeah, I think most sectors will grow. I mean, as you know, sectorally, I think everybody has underestimated the data requirement or the storage requirement. And with the increase in mobility, with you having to manage sort of different form factors, I think companies have got to find a way to sort of do more. Customers are demanding better customer service, and you're not going to differentiate anymore. So if you're going to go and do business with Flipkart, you will expect the same service that Flipkart provides for its products from a bank or from an airline or from the government for that matter. So I think you will not have a choice, because now there are some companies which are starting to offer better service and very differentiated service offering. So that will then become the standard or the norm. And so I think most companies will have to figure out a way to sort of invest. And the good news is that there are enough solutions available. There are now a plethora of cloud solutions available, which are easy to deploy, fast to sort of go to market, put them in, that we can, and companies like us can help customers to get there.
With the Internet of Things happening, it's very close by. So do you see a lot of pressure coming on you for products and connectivity?
Well, again, Internet of Things is a great phenomena. We are right in the heart of it. And in fact, we had recently, also launched a competition around Internet of Things. There were, in fact, there was a winner from India who got the second prize in a global competition that we have done. And so we are smack in the middle of it. We are driving a lot of innovation around the Internet of Things. Because if you think about sort of Internet of Things, every little form factor, every little device that you want to embed something into is probably going to run Java in most cases. And Java, as you know, is sort of a part of Oracle now, at least the commercial version. So, we are in the middle of it, and we are very excited by that opportunity.
If you look at the India numbers, based on IDC, where you see yourself right now?
Well, like I said, at least in the enterprise space, we are number one for both software and hardware, and we've been number one, I think, for the last sort of 2 years, and we've been gaining market share over the others, and we want to sort of continue on that trajectory.
You see that pie increasing over the years?
Well, we hope so. We certainly hope so. We are fortunate that customers run their most critical applications on us. The biggest banks in India, the biggest telecommunication companies, the government tax organizations or citizen-centric organizations, all of them sort of use Oracle products. We touch lives of, I think 700, 800 million people in India. And we feel very privileged and honored and responsible that we are able to do that. And we want to continue doing it. So, we certainly hope that our investments in India are going to pay off, and we will be on that trajectory.
And how many people do you have currently in India?
So when I look at the combined sort of sales and consulting and all of sort of Oracle assets, we have about 31,000 people in India.
Okay, that's a large chunk of your global force, I guess.
Well, we don't break out our global workforce. With this is, like I said, this is a total bunch of people, which includes R&D and all the other.
I'm saying the total Oracle global workforce, 31,000 must be a large number.
It is a significant number, yes.
Right, great. Thank
All
you.
right.